Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Making It in Manhattan. For today's episode, we're going to be talking all about where I look for inspiration, which is some of my favorite gals to follow on Instagram. I've never really talked about this before, but I have a list of some really cool and amazing and inspiring women, and most of them I've never even met before and they don't know I exist, but I love following them for inspiration. So I thought that we could just go through the list. If you're struggling, if you're feeling uninspired, this is sometimes where I'll look for inspiration on days where I'm just feeling down or at a roadblock. So let's dive in. So if you work in social media or any kind of creative field, you're forced to just constantly be creative, and with that comes looking for inspiration. And it can be hard sometimes. I was watching something the other day they said something to the effect of, everything's been done before. There's nothing entirely unique, which as a creative can feel very frustrating because you want to be unique. You want to be doing new and exciting things every day to keep your audience engaged, to reach new people, whatever it might be. So finding inspiration and staying inspired constantly can be really difficult. I mean, I deal with burnout personally. I know a lot of other people do as well. Video burnout is such a real thing where you're just constantly churning and burning. So on days when I'm feeling uninspired, I definitely have people, as I mentioned, who I look to for inspiration. Also, places I love to look through are the Explore page on Instagram. That's where I found a good amount of these women. Is just, honestly, sometimes at night I'm sitting on my couch and I have a show playing in the background, but I'm also just kind of scrolling on my phone. And I'll just go to Instagram's Explore page, or I'll go to the Pinterest home page, and I'll just scroll for 30 minutes. And I'm like, ooh, that's cool. That's cool. And that's how I discover new people, or that's how I get inspired. And I think that can be really helpful for you guys. Anyone who's feeling uninspired or at a roadblock, or how are you creating these videos all of the time? I mean, sometimes I need to take a step back and not create for a little bit just to kind of reset and be rejuvenated. But really looking to other people who are also different from you, but you can put your own spin on. You can always put your own twist on anything you see them doing is really important. And it's good to have people who, women you can look up to and admire, even if they don't know you exist. So the first person I wanted to touch on is someone who's an OG inspiration of mine, and I've been following her for years and years, and most of you probably know her, but Alexa Chung. I feel like she was the OG it girl and influencer. Her handle is just at Alexa Chung. She was based in London. I'm pretty sure she's still based in London, but she's always traveling, and she's just I feel like she's the blueprint for influencers everywhere. So I love still following her. For each girl, as I'm chatting about them, if you're watching the video, you can see me sitting here. By the way, if you're watching this video, and if you're not watching the video, I'm wearing this t-shirt that has huge poofy tulle sleeves, and they're just amazing. So I just had to call that out. But I love Alexa's feed. It's just very laid back. It's very casual. It feels personal, but still polished, if that makes sense. And that's something that I think is often hard to achieve with social media, because we went through this phase, I'd say 5 years ago, where Instagram became super polished, where everybody was shooting with a photographer constantly, over editing their photos, and it became this really curated look of your life. But she does a really beautiful job where it just feels quick snapshots on her phone, and just she's on the go and she's snapping photos. That's the vibe I get from her page. So anyway, and her style is just effortlessly chic. And she still mixes in pops of color here and there, but she's also just an OG inspiration for me, and someone that I've been following since literally I think I was in college. So love Alexa Chung. Okay, the next person I love following, I don't want to butcher her last name, but her first name is Nina and her last name is Sandbech. I'm going to spell it for you. It's Sandbech. Bech, Sandbech. And her handle is just her name. So at Nina's, I'm definitely butchering her last name, but Sandbech. Anyway, I found her a few years ago during COVID, and I'm pretty sure that she's based in Copenhagen. But she does color so well. She's super eclectic and maximalist, just like me. And she just mixes together things that are really fun. But we also have a very different aesthetic. Like we both love color, but our vibes are just very different. Again, she's never met me, but I love her style. I think it's super cool, bold, colorful. Yeah, I'm looking at this one photo of her. She's wearing like a bright neon orange skirt with like a sequin rainbow top, just like tons of, color, fun. That's the thing with fashion. It shouldn't be that serious. Like, I personally don't like following people who are just like all black and white. That's not me. I mean, I just want to wake up every day and inspire and have fun through fashion. So her page is just a burst of color. And I'd say her photos are like a mix of, some feel a little bit more professional and street style-y, like taken with a camera photo. And then others feel just like taken with an iPhone, a little bit more relaxed. So she definitely has a mix, but her feed is definitely like just a burst of color. Okay, the next person that I love following, and I feel like she's so under the radar, is her name is Chloe King, but her handle is at Chloe, the number 4, and then the word days with a Z. So at Chloe, number 4, DAYZ. At Chloe 4 days. And so she works in the industry more. She worked, I believe, at Bloomingdale's at one point, and then at the Webster, or maybe it was Bergdorf Goodman maybe, and then at the Webster. But she is just a joy to follow. Like, she loves color, but she also loves bold silhouettes. So I'm just scrolling through her page right now. She's wearing like these big full dresses with rosettes on them. She's wearing like tiered, layered, hot pink dresses. Like, she just loves texture and print and is not afraid of like a bold silhouette. Also, I love that she works in the industry, so she goes to like a lot of different fashion week shows, and I think that's how I first started following her years ago. I actually interviewed her a while ago for my website, Making It in Manhattan, but she's just really like a joy to follow. I know that sounds silly, and she posts a lot. She doesn't post as much as maybe like a traditional influencer or creator, but she's not. She's like more of an industry person, and she just has amazing style, and I think she is so under the radar. And really, I am constantly looking through her page and saving like everything she posts, because really the silhouettes she wears, these like oversized dresses and huge skirts and embellishments and flowers, like she just is not afraid. Like, literally, I'm looking at this one photo of her right now, and she's wearing a sequin swim cap. So if that tells you anything, she is just bold and fun, and I absolutely love following her. Okay, the next person I'm going to mention, have never met her. I discovered her on TikTok a few months ago, but her name is, and all these handles I'm giving you are their Instagram handles. So if you're trying to find them after this, her name is Vicky Montanari, and her handle is at Vic, V-I-C, and then her last name is Montanari. I'll make sure we list all of the handles like in the description of the episode, just so that you guys can easily find everyone. So she lives abroad somewhere. I found her on TikTok. It's funny, I feel like a good amount of the people I love following are not US-based creators. I feel like Europe-based creators, they just have a little bit more fun with their style. But Chloe, who I just mentioned, she's a New York girl. But so I found Vicky on TikTok, and she just does these like, she wears a lot of color, but she does these very simple style videos where she just shows quick clips of her outfits, but her outfits are so fun and colorful. And for me, I'm like, effortless, bold, cool, unique, isn't trying to be anybody else. And that's the kind of person that I love following, because it's so inspiring just watching people be unapologetically themselves and just like not care what other people think. And that's the kind of woman I always am trying to be, and also I love following and I love supporting. So I found her through her videos on TikTok, and then I went to her Instagram, followed her on Instagram as well. And yeah, I mean, she just, all her photos are very casual, all taken with iPhone, definitely very like on the go. Like one photo she's standing like at a little magazine stand in Lisbon, and another one she's sitting on a little street corner. I don't know where that one was taken, but all of them just seem very quick snapshots taken on the go, which I love. And then just like bold colors. She's not afraid of a print. She does a lot of, I know like they're calling it the ugly sneaker trend, but I don't like the word ugly for anything because I feel like that's such a harsh word. But she does a lot of unexpected, like very feminine, girly dresses with like a chunky, more athletic, sporty looking sneaker. So love her style, think it's super cool, and just love the content she produces and love following her. But yeah, it's so funny. I don't know any, like I've never met any of these girls. I've just discovered them through the Explore page and through the For You page, and just adore their style and their aesthetics. Okay, the next person that I love following, another person, I'm going to butcher their last name. Her name is Sofia, and then her last name is Coelho. I'm thinking that's how you spell it. So her handle is at Sofia, Sofia M, and then her last name Coelho. So I'm pretty sure I discovered her just one night, what I was saying, like scrolling on my For You page, looking at different people, and just, clicked on her page and was like, wait, she has super, super cool style and unexpected. I think that's what I love, is following people who like have an unexpected style. Like it's feminine, but it's flirty, or it's feminine, but it's sporty, or it's like feminine and masculine. Like I love when people are mixing together just like two completely different aesthetics. I love her style. Oh, again, I feel like every single person I'm telling you, they wear color, obviously, because I love color. So if you're looking for other colorful creators or just like industry people to follow, like this list is definitely for you. And yeah, she also like does a lot of cool like braids in her hair, which I also love, because I'm not the most creative when it comes to my hair. I feel like my look is very like the same all the time. Glasses, same haircut every time. But I'm definitely inspired by seeing people who like play with different hairstyles and also are good at doing hair, because I'm really not good at it. And then the next person, I love following her. I've been following her for years. Her name is Marianne Theodorsen, and her handle is just Marianne_, and I'm going to spell out her last name. It's Theodorsen. And she is, I'm again almost positive, a Copenhagen-based creator. Never met her. Found her. I don't know how I found her. I found her a long, long time ago. She might have been tagged like in another creator's picture or something like that, like in like a street style shot at Fashion Week, and like her style stood out to me specifically because it was so colorful and fun. And like out of all the accounts I've mentioned, she's probably like, her and Chloe maybe are like the most maximalist, like just mixing textures, mixing prints. But she also, Marianne, she has an amazing bag collection, which I love, like looking at her bags. She'll sometimes do, I'm looking for one, but I'm not seeing it right now because I'm going through her profile as we speak. But she'll sometimes do like a swipe through of just like recent bags she's been using, and oh my goodness, her handbag collection is incredible and definitely gives me inspiration for when I'm looking for new bags to add to my collection. But her feed is cool because she does a cool mix of like full body shots of herself, but then she'll throw in like really close up tight, just like accessory shots of her shoes and of her bags and stuff. Oh, and of her nails. I think that's maybe how I found her too. She does the coolest nail designs. Like, I love nail art and wearing crazy, funky, colorful nails. But oh my goodness, I'm looking at one of her nail designs right now. She like has a smiley face on one finger, a strawberry on one, a tulip on another one. Like, so fun and bold, and isn't afraid to just like take risks with fashion. I think a lot of times people just love following trends and wearing whatever is cool and not wanting to do anything too crazy out of like fear of criticism online, because obviously everyone has an opinion. But she is literally so bold and definitely inspires me to like continue pushing the envelope and to not worry so much about like, you know, worrying what other people think, because she's really cool, and I love her style. And I wish I could meet all these girls and hang out with them. I feel like we'd all have a lot of fun swapping closets. The next person I love following, and I feel like everyone loves following her, she really is like, I just feel like unanimously across the board, if you ask anybody about her, everyone's like, I love her. Her name is Matilda Djerf. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But her handle is just Matilda, and then her last name, Djerf. You've probably seen her on social media or on TikTok because she's like iconically known for her hair. She has this blonde hair that's like very voluminous and thick, and like she has just like a very iconic hairstyle and haircut where she like has these like I don't even know what to call them, like little bangs in the front, and very maybe like 90s supermodel hair, I guess is like a good word. But she has like the most beautiful hair. And I don't really necessarily follow for style inspiration or love following her for style inspiration, because she's definitely a lot more minimalist than I am. She wears just like more simple, like black and jeans with like a black tank or something like that. But I love following her for just like what I'll call her dreamy aesthetic. So her photos are like her holding like a huge bouquet of flowers, or sitting in like a big cozy robe like near the beach, or just like, I don't know, effortlessly walking down the street with like her hair blowing in the wind. I feel like I follow her more for pose inspiration, I guess, if that makes sense. And in this industry, there's definitely people you follow for different things. So like there's certain people I follow for like, ooh, their style inspires me, but her just like overall aesthetic and presence inspires me. And she also joined TikTok and quickly like blew up on TikTok as well for kind of taking her effortless Instagram aesthetic and translating it into just like effortless videos, which I feel like would never really work for me, because it's funny, like when people are like, oh, that person's so effortless, it's still so much hard work behind the scenes that is not always seen. But I love her just like effortless vibe that she gives out, and like she always poses with flowers, and it's just like very dreamy and feminine. Okay, and then last but not least, she's also like an OG inspiration, someone I've been following probably since my Teen Vogue days. And I often am like, I followed her before she was cool. She's a Copenhagen-based creator and stylist, but when I started following her, I think she had like 40K, and now she has over 800,000 followers. So her name is Emili, and then her last name is Sindlev. So it's Emili, and then her last name is Sindlev. So I can't remember if I said this, but she's based in Copenhagen again. I feel like the girlies in Copenhagen, they're just doing it right. Like their style is so good. And as I said, it's like almost unexpected. It's like things mixed together that you're like, it just works. And that's why I absolutely love it. So Emili's vibe is very iPhone, casual, like a picture of her bag on the table and then a photo of her at lunch, but then like a photo all dressed up posing at an event, and then like a photo with her boyfriend, and like it's very like snapshots of her life, but her style is just so cool and chic. She also wears like a lot of high-end designers, but she mixes them in super cool and makes them look like insanely wearable in her wardrobe. But yeah, I've been following her for years and years. Don't even remember how I discovered her, but yeah, her stuff is just super bold and colorful and cool accessories. She also has this long blonde hair that's like crimped, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, all these girls are just, I think the common denominator is like unexpected, and the Copenhagen girlies are just doing it right and aren't afraid to mix things together that are maybe like unexpected or out of the ordinary or not what everyone is doing. And as I said, that's what I love, because in New York, sometimes it feels like everyone's just wearing the same thing or doing the same thing. So I love finding people and following people who I just feel like are not afraid to be different. I absolutely love that. So my making it a Manhattan tip of the week is, when you look for inspiration, make sure you don't ever just directly copy what you find. Always put your own spin on things. So with that being said, I love following all these women. I am so inspired by them, saving and screenshotting. But when it comes to developing your own personal sense of style, you want to always put your own spin on anything you do and anything you're wearing. So even if I see a cool video online that I'm like, ooh, I'm so inspired by that, I always think to myself, okay, how can I do that video but for my page and for my audience? Because I always want to be inspired by others, but I never want to copy anybody, and I always want to just like put my own stamp on something, so that whenever I do something, people will look at it and be like, ooh, that reminds me of Caroline, or ooh, that's definitely Caroline's video. I love when people tag me in things and they're like, oh, I saw this and it reminded me of you, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right in terms of really showing my sense of style and my aesthetic to the world. And then my making it a Manhattan question of the week, it kind of jumps off of the tip, but how do you put your own spin on the things you find? So that's a great question, because I'm sitting here being like, put your own spin on it, put your own spin on it, but how do you essentially put your own spin on it? I think two people can always wear the same exact dress, but it's how you style it. So in terms of an outfit, or if I'm like, ooh, I love the way, you know, she wore that blue dress. Okay, well, I'm going to accessorize it how I would wear it. I'm going to put my rings, my stacks of jewelry, my glasses, my shoes. I'm always going to style it for me and in my own way. You never want to look at somebody and be like, oh, I have that exact outfit, I'm going to wear that exact thing. And hey, maybe that's what works for you, but for me, I want to always accessorize it in my own sense. Or if it's a video, I'll be like, okay, like that's a cool get ready with me, but how do I change it up to just like make it feel unique for me? Maybe it's the poses, maybe it's the song, maybe it's the setting. Play with it. Like, and always, if you are gonna exactly copy another creator's video or something, like always just give them, credit in the caption or in the comments or something like that. I know TikTok's really big on that, because TikTok is like all about copying other people and trying out people's videos. But I think just make sure you're always giving credit where credit is due, because it's okay to be inspired by others, but I think always styling it in your own way and wearing it in your own way. I think Fashion Week is always an interesting time, because sometimes brands will dress creators for shows, and sometimes brands will put two people in the same exact outfit. Like they'll give them both the same exact dress, or the same exact head to toe, like suit, shirt, everything. And I always honestly, though that sucks and you're like, oh my gosh, we're in the same outfit, it's cool to see sometimes, because I love seeing how two people can take the same exact outfit but wear it differently. There's a trend going around on TikTok, and it's like wearing clothes versus styling clothes. And there's such a big difference in that. And I always say this, you can buy fashion, but you cannot buy style. So maybe you're a creator and you're feeling really down because a lot of people are copying you, and maybe you're like, but Caroline, people are copying me and they're not even putting their own spin on it. They're just copying exactly or whatever it might be. And I know that can be frustrating because it's happened to me, but just remember, like, people can buy clothing, but they can't buy style. Like, you are, you know, an individual, and you are unique, and you are you for a reason. So don't let comparison or copying get you down. Just keep doing your thing and stay in your own lane. Like, people will notice all of your hard work. Like, don't get discouraged and just have fun with it. As I say, fashion should be all about having fun. And I love following these women because they just make me happy. Like, their style makes me happy, and the things that they wear and the things that they post make me happy. And that's what social media should ultimately do at the end of the day. So that is a wrap on my list of people to follow for inspiration online. Let me know what you guys think. And if you have anybody else that you'd suggest that you think that I need to check out, send me a question and leave me a comment for future episodes. And I'll see you guys soon.